Hello everyone, my name is Johan and this is my version of the Michael Lemmo's song 1. Please excuse my English, it is sometimes bad and I have sometimes a hard time to find the words. Let's start! Okay, let's start from this part. We start with the long finger on the 14th fret on the D string. Then you put your ring finger on the B string on the 14th fret. Then lastly, you put your index finger on the 12th fret on the low E string. It should sound like this. Then you add a pull-off with your little finger on the 14th fret on the low E string. So practice that. Then you do another pull-off on the 17th fret on the low E string with your little finger. one more time. Then you do. Now we have finished the first round. So let's do it again. Now you start from the beginning again. But now, when you come to the 17th fret, you stay there. So from the second round, it should sound like this. Maybe a bit confusing, but I will play it one more time, all over again, slowly. Okay, so the second part of the song goes like this. So we start off with the index finger on the 2nd fret on the D string. Then you put your ring finger on the 4th fret on the G string. And you play all the strings all together. And the strumming should sound like this. Now you put your long finger on the 3rd fret on the high E string. And then you return to the first short chord. You repeat this 2 times. We will move to the 3rd part of the song, and that part sounds like this. So what I'm doing here is that I put my long finger on the 7th fret on the D string and my ring finger on the 7th fret on the B string. Then I just move the chord itself 1 step to the left, to the 6th fret. Then I'm going all the way down to the 11th fret with the same short chord. Then to the 9th fret, then 2 more, to the 12th fret, and then finish on the 11th. So one more time. And I'm picking all strings. And here the strumming goes like this, and you should pick from the... And here you should pick from the A string all the other string. And here you should pick the A string and all the other strings. And the strumming should sound like this. Okay, now we start with the fourth. Okay, let's go to the fourth chapter of this song. It should sound like this. Okay, so let's start with the fourth chapter. You should put your index finger on the second fret on the D string, and you should also press down the G string on the second fret. So these two. Then you should also put your ring finger on the fourth fret on the G string. And you should start, and it should sound like this. And you will do a hammer on. You do a hammer on from the second fret on the G string to the fourth fret on the G string. Then you move on to your ring finger on the fifth fret on the A string and your long finger on the D string on the fourth fret. You play the A string all the way down. So it's down, up. So from the beginning of the fourth chapter, then you do harmonics on the A string, D string and G string on the fifth fret. Then on the seventh fret. Then all the way down to the 12th fret. And it should sound like this. Everything together. And then you just repeat the first thing on the fourth chapter again. And you just repeat that one more time. Now you want to go to the harmonics. You would go here. So it's an open G string, a press down to the second fret on the G string, and a pull off. Fuck. So it's an open G string and a pull off on the second fret on the G string. And then you press down the G string and a hammer on the fourth fret on the G string. Then you go back. So it's another hammer on the second fret on the G string. Then a pull off from the 4th fret on the D string to the 2nd fret on the D string. Okay, so the whole 4th chapter together. And then you just repeat it one more time. But now you finish on this chord. And you play open all the strings. Okay, let's go to the 5th chapter. It sounds like this. Okay, so I am holding this chord. You put your index finger on the 2nd fret on the A string. Then you put your ring finger on the 4th fret on the D string. And then you put your little finger on the 4th fret on the G string. So you play. So you play first the chord, and then you pull off you lift off, so you play. Then you lift off your little finger while you're pressing down all the other strings with your index finger. Then you lift your index finger, so you play the G string open, and then you put it back, and then you put your little finger to get back. So it should sound like this. Then you move up to the 5th fret on the A string with the same chord. But now you play both the B and the E string open. So together it should sound like this. And you just repeat it one more time. But now you add this chord 2 steps down. You just play a little bit faster. Okay, so now we're back on the 4th chapter of this song. Okay, then you play the 5th chapter again. here you finish with the open. Okay, we have now arrived to the 6th chapter. It sounds like this. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that I'm putting my index finger on the 5th fret on the A string, my ring finger on the 7th fret on the D string, my long finger on the B string on the 6th fret, and my little finger on the 7th fret of the B string. And I'm pushing with my index finger all the strings. So try to make it sound like this. Okay, now you just lift your little finger and put it back a couple of times, and it should sound like this. Okay, practice that. Then you just add your index finger on the top of the 5th fret on the high E string. But you still play the same with the other fingers. Then you move your index finger to the 4th fret on the A string. Then one step down to the 5th fret on the A string. And you just repeat it one more time. Okay, now we have arrived to the trickiest part of the song. And it should sound like this. But don't be terrified. You will make it. Practice makes perfect. So, you should start with your index finger on the A string on the 5th fret, and you should move your little finger down to the 7th fret on the low E string and back to the B string on the 7th fret, back and forth. So it's open short 2 times, press your little finger down to on the B string, back up, down on the 7th fret on the low E string, back up, and back down to the B string 7th fret. And you just repeat that many more times. Okay, now it's time to play the same chord again, but you are moving up your ring finger up to the A string on the 7th fret, and you play a bit heavier. Then back down with your little finger, and you continue to do the same with the bass. You play 2 times. to the fifth part of the song. And then down to this chord. Okay, now I've come to the 7th chapter of this song, I think. What I'm doing here is that I'm putting my index finger on the 9th fret on the A string, my little finger on the D string on the 11th fret, and my ring finger on the 11th fret on the B string. And I'm playing all the other strings open. Then I'm moving it up. No, then I'm moving it down 2 steps to the 7th fret. Then 2 more times down. Then just moving my index finger 1 step to the 4th fret on the A string. And back. So from the beginning. Then you go back to the first chord. Then all the way down to the 12th fret. And then lastly on the 5th fret. And the strumming should sound like this. As you hear, you should start to slow down your tempo when you are hitting the 12th fret. Okay, now we have the right to the 8th chapter of the song. You play your open A string, then your long finger on the D string on the 7th fret, and your ring finger on the 7th fret on the B string. And you move that chord 1 step down to the 6th fret. You play all the chords together. Then you do the same thing, but from the 11th fret. 2 steps down. 1 more time on the 12th fret. And lastly on the 11th fret. So from the beginning. Then you want to finish with the harmonics 1 more time. Okay, and then the finale. You play the chord you have already taken, the index finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, your ring finger on the 4th fret on the G string, and you play it from the low E string to the high. And then you can add this Donald Duck sound. Halula. Oh!